Andrew.
Hey, Alex.
What's this?
This is Brains on the Outside.
What's that?
It's a podcast where we dream up ridiculous businesses to solve the world's issues.
Each week, we take one of our listeners' problems and we each pitch a company, product, or service to help them out.
And then we bicker about which one was best.
Previous ideas have included a drone for stealing your co-worker's lunch that's also edible so you can get rid of all the evidence, and a bar where it's always your birthday. Hey Andrew, how you been?
I've been pretty good. How have you been?
I've been all right. It's been boring here without you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, kind of. So I was going to ask how this has last week been for you. Has this been conducive to coming up with crazy business ideas?
You've not been around, so in some ways I've had loads more headspace, and in other ways I've not had the additional outside brain impetus that you generally bring. That level of energy that you bring that combines with my own energy to make us into a pair of idiots. That's been missing.
That's kind of semi-been true for me as well. Mm-hmm. I've been on holiday, I've been in Lisbon, and it's nice just to see how another part of the world lives their life. Things we can bring into this culture to make us because what I'm trying to say is when you're away, you realize how much of a shithole Britain is. So lots of creative and exciting ideas. But I guess what I'm lacking when I was away was also your crazy and stupid half of the brain to prompt these more. But I did. I when I was away, I on my Facebook Messenger app, I messaged myself little things so I can just read out some of the stupid things I texted myself. The last thing I texted was just natural resources are cool, like lots of wood or ore. So I passed a really big pile of wood. I was like, oh, ore and wood is cool. So maybe one day that will come into be a business idea.
Like making your own life into a real-time strategy game.
That's exactly what my mind
Stockpiling masses of piles of resources.
Because we were passing it was like a dock and there was cranes and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
It is cool.
If only my life could. If I could be the guy in the train,
yeah, or
the guy in the crane, that's a proper job.
The person driving the spice harvester on Arrakis.
Oh shit! Okay, but that's a proper job, you know.
Yeah,
hard manual labor to get the spice. Sadly, I don't think this episode is going to be able to cover how the spice must flow. But we do have an idea, a problem really, from our longtime listener, Elliott.
Oh, fabulous.
Do you want to hear it?
I do.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't, that would be the end of the show. We could just finish recording at 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
You say no. Just the end jingle, please.
So a little while ago, I found out about a feature that I didn't know existed on Google, where if you've got a song stuck in your head, or there's a song that you want to identify, but you don't know the words, you just know the tune, you can do something called hum to search, where you can hum the melody into Google, like ba da ba ba, and it will find the song that matches it. It's surprisingly good. So between that and Google reverse image search, we've got quite a lot of the different senses down, but there's still no way to identify smells and tastes through Google. Is there something that we could be doing to enable a full spectrum of sensory experiences to all be identified via a search engine?
Thank you so much, Elliott, for writing in.
Thank you. Thanks for listening for such a long time as well.
It's also a subtle call to action here as well, which is other people can send us ideas.
They should do. Where should they send them to?
brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
What was that again?
brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
I got it.
Now, Elliott, I think is something really fun and interesting here. He is correct. We can basically reverse Google search most of our senses.
That's true. What about the secret sixth sense?
Like Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
So, do you have an idea here? Do you have a business product or solution you would like to pitch us to help Elliott out? Because I guess what he wants is ways to relocate smells or something.
I do. I mean, Elliott talked about he basically wants a search engine for smells, right?
Yeah.
He wants a reverse lookup for smells. And I think that he solved his own problem because the answer is a reverse lookup for smells. What I'm more interested in here is, A, how do we monetize that?
Of course.
As an idea? and B, what other uses are there for it.
This is why I can tell you're a serious business person. You went straight to monetization. So
always straight for the money.
I'm extremely excited to hear how you're going to monetize, because this is an actual problem for Google as well, monetization of search.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. And I think where Google really have missed out in the past is they've monetized with ads, and no one likes ads, right? Ads suck.
They do suck, yeah.
I block them, you block them, everyone blocks them. Most browsers block them by default these days.
Yeah.
You know, no one likes ads. They suck.
They suck.
Pointless. They get in the way.
Fuck you, Google.
Exactly. And instead, what they should do is monetize it with competition.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would pay for, if I take the sense of smell,
Right.
okay, I would pay a subscription to Google to be able to Google smells
Okay.
when I'm out and about.
Right.
Okay. So, you know, I'm walking around, I can smell something nice, and I whip up my phone, I press a button, and I'm like, hey, Google, what is this? Shazam for smells. Smellzam.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then it tells me what that smell is, the thing that I'm currently smelling. I would pay a subscription for that.
Yeah.
If when I smelled something unique or smelled something that no one had ever smelled before, I got paid for it.
Ooh. So you were the first person to smell
Yeah.
new thing.
Yeah.
You get a subscription fee back.
Exactly. So yeah, so if I smell a new combination of smells that no one has ever smelled before, quids in, cash out.
And do you get to name the smell?
Yes.
When other people smell it. Oh my, right. I don't want to step in your idea.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
is the plan here that when other people smell your smell, do you get a percentage of their subscription fee?
Ooh.
Because this would be a big incentive to get your app. Because you go along and tag all the normal smells. You could tag the poop smell.
You get in there early.
You get in there early.
Yeah.
Day one adopters getting like petrol smell.
Smell of cut grass, fresh cut grass.
Yeah.
Petrichor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, petrichor's a big one because did you know, Andrew, that you can smell petrichor, the smell of rain on hot ground? You can smell that from further away than a shark can smell blood.
I didn't know that.
So you get in on that one. That's a lot of people smelling that smell.
I mean, do you imagine you whip your phone out? Mm-hmm. I'm guessing in this pitch relies on Apple putting some hardware in, but we'll ignore that bit. Is the result the main smell, or do you get every smell that's around you? Like, do you get the petrichor smell, even if that's 5% of what you're smelling?
Oh, good question. I think you have to get them all, because otherwise how would we know which smell you're trying to smell?
Right, okay.
Yeah. I actually think that some kind of plug-in that plugs into your nostrils as well is also an option.
Okay.
Because obviously, if we're using your phone to smell it, it's actually we're smelling wherever the phone is.
Right.
Not where your nose is. So you have to hold the phone to your nose. You look like a bit of a wally. But if we put a little plug-in up your nose that smelled the smell as well as you smell the smell, then it's smelling exactly the same smell as you're smelling.
And would you get this with your subscription fee?
Tier 2.
That would also kind of cool because it would fit well with, here's another June reference for today, your still suit cosplay.
Yeah.
Go right in your nose.
Right in there. Yeah. So that I think that's it. And then also because, you know, it provides you with loads of monetization options around perfumes and stuff like that. You walk in,
oh my God,
you walk into a room, you're like, what is that smell? And actually that smell is registered to Chanel. And everyone in the room suddenly paid a little bit of money because they've just smelled Chanel perfume. They all their subscription fee just went to Chanel, just a tiny bit of it, because everyone smelled that smell.
Are you going to apply the same idea to, Elliott mentioned images, videos. Are you going to apply the same idea to Shazam for videos, but you also get royalties? Or is that just, you don't care, smells?
We've gone big smell.
Big
I'm
smell.
Just focused on smell. All I care about is smell.
Yeah.
And there's just so many opportunities for the incentives here are massive because you want people to smell the good smells.
Yeah.
Right. So if you are a smell manufacturer, you want to make sure that your smells are really good. So people take a really good deep breath of the smell and they don't hold their breath. Like if you're the person on the app who's like registered guff as a smell, all right, that's bad because everyone's like, oh God, I don't want to smell that. But if you've registered freshly cut grass or nicely roasted coffee or freshly baked cookies or Chanel No. 5 or whatever, that's quids in for everybody on that.
Do you get to review it?
Oh.
Do you get to recommend a smell to a friend? Because there's a way back with this. Like, hey, I just smelled these. Like, there was a really good apple pie sitting on somebody's windowsill, and it smells great. And it's right here. Could you work the other way and be like, I want to smell this thing. I want to smell some freshly cut grass. Show me on a map where I can go sniff this out.
Real-time smell mapification. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm down for. I am here for this. Like a smell heat map.
Yeah. Heat map, but for you want to avoid. Today I'm going out and I want to avoid every smell of leather. I want to avoid all leather smells, and they can give me an in-depth heat map
of all the tanneries.
Yeah, all the tanneries in the northeast of England.
The leather
region.
chops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. It made me think of, you know, how you get the hay fever forecast in the weather forecast, the smell forecast.
Oh my God.
The good smell forecast.
This is kind of merging what I was going to say is Google make a lot of money selling companies access to Google Maps. Mm-hmm. You as a normal user can get Google Maps for free, but if you're a company who wants to embed it in their website, you pay money.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Making apps off of this, the smell forecast, getting the UK government to pay for API access to our smell-o-vision. That'd be big.
Yeah. We're going to have some Street View vehicles driving around all the time that are also street smell vehicles.
Okay.
Big nose on the top, big digital nose on the top of it, smelling what's going on. Yeah, because we could get, you know, that citizen science thing of getting people to register when they smell a smell. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of self-defeating, isn't it? Because we wanted people to use the app to understand what the smell that they're smelling is, to identify a smell.
Yes. This whole heat map, smell map creation is a emerging property. Like you have enough information now. Everyone's smelling everything.
Yeah. Is it? You know, there's that. I mean, you're a man of science, Andrew.
I have science.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a science-based question?
You can try.
Yeah. So you know how there's that thing about everybody is currently breathing 2 or 3 molecules of Caesar's last breath because it's all traveled around the world and everything's becoming homogenous.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it true that the ultimate death of the universe, everything will smell the same?
There is a neutral smell.
A neutral smell because the smell has just it's just all the smell molecules are now just spread so thinly across the universe that.
That's a really interesting product for like the researchers at Apple to make, which is you press this button and it gives you an incredibly in-depth breakdown of every smell, like to the molecule. That would be fun.
Yeah. You didn't answer my question though, which means that
I did avoid it.
Don't know what the answer is.
I think I'm going to require a bit of research. You know, I think a little bit of research, but I think I like the concept of there's an average smell. That's it. The baseline smell of the universe. There's a baseline sound of the universe and probably a color, but I want a baseline smell.
Yeah.
And this can help us get there.
You kind of get background noise, don't you? And background light, but you don't get background smell. But maybe we do get background smell. We just don't know what it is.
Well, we've never built this app. We can't average out all the smells of the world. We haven't yet built this, but do you want to sum up your idea, Alex? Give me a 30-second pitch then.
So my idea is, well, I extended Elliott's idea of reverse search engine for smells by monetizing it a lot.
Making us all very rich. I love it.
Yeah. Welcome to the ad zone, Andrew.
This is where we get paid lots of money.
Huge amounts of money.
I do love this bit.
Yeah, it's good. We got a very fascinating and interesting sponsor this week.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Who is it?
A whole new social network.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Social networks come and go so fast. I'm excited to see who the new contender is.
They do, yeah. This is the new big thing. Everyone's talking about Blue Sky, but who cares about that? Because I'm signed up to the book.
The book. Okay. Can you? I'm not signed up for this. Can you explain to me what the book is?
Yeah. So it's a social network that, interestingly and very relatedly to our listener problem today, they allow you to post about not just the things that you see and hear, and not just with text, but
Okay.
we can make posts about all of the senses.
How does this work?
Well, when you sign up, what you get is a huge book
Okay. Yeah.
split into 5 sections,
This sounds great.
one for each sense.
Okay.
Okay? There's the sight bit. You open that up, it's got just pictures in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sounds bit. You open that up, and it's got little buttons. You press a button in that, and it'll play a sound like a steam engine, or the horn of a boat, or the wind, or some hay blowing in the breeze. The third section is the smells. You open that up, it's all scratch and sniff.
Oh, it's very relevant for today. Excellent. Yeah.
Exactly. Fourth section, open that up, and it's taste. It's hundreds and hundreds of little jelly beans that you can eat, and you get a flavor explosion inside your mouth when you eat one of those jelly beans. And then the last section is the touch section, and that's just lots and lots of textural patches. So there's a rough bit, sandy bit, there's sandpaper stuff, there's tissue paper stuff, there's crinkly bits, there's slippery stuff, bit slimy bits, all sorts of stuff in there.
So this is excellent. It's really being quite innovative in you get a lot of sound, you get a lot of text in social media, but not the full range of human experience like what this is offering
Exactly,
you.
yeah.
So what does a post look like?
Well, a post is just a series of page references and then a grid reference for that page. So one for each of the 5 senses. So you might get page 13 grid reference 4A. You open that up and that's in the sight bit of the book, and it's a picture of a moose. Okay. And then the next bit of the post just says page 273, box number 47B, and you open that up and you look at that, and it's a little scratch and sniff panel, and it smells like the Newfoundland forest.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah, I know.
So much more calm than normal social media.
Exactly.
A bit slower, but more physical.
100%, and you get all of that experience. So, you open the sound page for that, and it's the sound of the birds tweeting in the trees. You open the touch page, and it feels like lovely rough bark. It's fabulous.
I'm sold. I'm excited to get involved.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions. The first one is, if a tweet is called a tweet and a message on Blue Sky is called a skeet, what is a book message called?
Well, we break it down. So actually, there's a bunch of different names for them, actually, because they're based on the senses that are involved in that post.
Right.
So it might be a looky, or it might be a smelly, or it might be a tasty.
Oh,
Or
okay.
it might be a looky, smelly, tasty.
That's fun.
Or it might be, a
So
smelly, soundy, feely.
So I could like post a smelly feely or a looky see.
Yeah.
Excellent. So also does this require an initial purchase? If our listeners want to get involved, and I think they will, I want to get involved, how much does a bookie cost?
It's free.
Free?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's all, the whole social network is paid for by ads.
Oh, so you might scratch a Chanel number 5.
You might scratch your Chanel number.
A lot of the pictures are suspiciously of the insides of a Toys R Us.
That's exactly it, yeah. Yeah, some of the smells maybe don't smell 100% like the thing that they are saying that they're smelling like. And you just have to work that out. You scratch off the thing that says lovely cinnamon, but actually that just smells like a Yankee candle.
If our listeners have a business that they want us to advertise, how could they send us their advert?
Andrew, they should email us at brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
That'd be incredible. So, Alex, my idea,
Yeah.
it is I'm not sure technologically how to make a search engine like this, but what we're going to do is try and do this person to person, human to human with people, with our team of consultants. So my business will come in. You will be, sometime in the future, you will be looking back thinking, what was that smell?
Okay.
I have this smell in my mind. What was that smell? You're trying to locate this smell.
Ah, yeah. That happens to me a lot.
Well, that's a niche problem,
Yeah, yeah. When I like to go for my nature walks and I'm walking along and I don't have any technology with me and just smelling the world around me, sit down, have a mindful moment, shut my eyes, take a good deep breath, smell all the smells.
All that nature going in, all that green shit.
All of it, yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So you come to us, right? And we'll put out in front of you maybe 10 smells. Tell 10 samples.
Okay.
And you sniff them all, and we're like, which one smells the most like this thing?
Oh, okay.
So it can work the other way. Elliott wanted an app to like do this. We're just doing that same process, but with people.
Yeah.
You smell something interesting out there in the world, and you're like, shit, what was that? So you run down the street into our smell emporium, and we get the 5 samples out, and we're like, which one did it smell like the most?
Okay, so I've been on one of my nature walks, and I got a good lungful of wild garlic, but I don't know it's wild garlic.
No, you don't know that.
I don't know. So I run down the street, and I'm presented by one of your reps.
Smelliers, yes. And one of our smelliers has 5 smells. You smell them, and you're like, it smells most like that thing. And then it becomes a game of 20 questions,
Right.
where we now produce 5 more samples. And we're like, which one did it smell like? And you pick another one. And then based on that, we bring another 5 samples out. And slowly, we're narrowing the search space to get you closer and closer to the answer of wild garlic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I love that. That's great. How do you choose those first 5 smells? Are there is there an obvious separation of all of the smells into 5 different categories that
Yes.
you start with?
Yes, there is.
Right.
There's 5 core smells out there in the universe.
Okay, yeah.
Chocolate dark,
Okay.
chocolate white, leather.
Yeah.
There's also the wet cut grass and
Okay.
dog poo. And these 5 smells, like the core paints, can be mixed together to form other smells.
Oh, okay. So they're like the RGB of
Exactly.
of smells.
And that's
amazing.
That my business will start with those 5 and then work down.
So are you telling me that all smells are made out of those 5 smells?
So as you said earlier, I am a scientist. So sometimes what I say just goes. I haven't seen the research.
Yeah.
But it combines with something else. We live, potentially this will apply to the last few sentences I said about the 5 core smells. We live in a post-truth society. And it's really hard to, separate fact from fiction on the internet. I read that the second time you tell a story about what happened to you, the second time you tell a story about you going and trying to smell some wild garlic, there's inaccuracies in it. And it's not like you're trying to lie, it's just that your brain can't remember things that well, and it will fill in the gaps with other stories you've heard, other things have happened. But the baseline is most of the stories that people tell are wrong.
Right, okay.
So when I say you have every smell at the end, you might not have every smell. You might only have 255 smells that can be mixed from these 5. But by that point, you're so confused, you're so bamboozled by all these smells you're smelling.
That is true. Like at some point, especially for smells, if you're smelling a lot of things, eventually you don't know which is, like if you make 2 cups of coffee and one of them's got sugar in and the other one hasn't, you're like, oh, I'll smell it and see which one it is. And then you're like, and you just can't fucking tell.
Exactly. Will you really be able to tell the difference between wild garlic and store-bought garlic? Store-bought garlic and, I don't know, another form of garlic? So we can kind of merge these all together. So it is possible to have like 2,000 samples, little smell samples in the back room.
Yeah, okay. And then that's simpler because then you just mix a lot of them together to make lots more samples, don't you? As well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I have questions.
Okay, go on.
Where do you source these original smells from, and how do you keep them fresh?
So out back of the Smell Emporium, we grow a lot of these things fresh, natural things we can grow.
Right.
We have lots of leather chairs that we can rub our smell samples against to keep them fresh. And, these smelliers, they've trained for a long time in Europe, years, decades of their life. They know their smells. So they can go out and find new ones usually. So as well, some smells do have a core item they are from. So like there is one clock somewhere in the UK that every other clock used to be based off.
Oh yeah.
We do that for certain smells. So we say, hey, freshly mown grass smells like this. And in deep in the earth locked in a very, very sealed safe is that freshly mown grass. Ooh. And if things deviate from that too much, we say that's not freshly sown grass. So right at the end of the selection process, I imagine you'll be brought down to these vaults and you're like, this is freshly grown grass 0. Does it smell like that?
Wow.
That's how I imagine to be set up.
I love that.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of that. Yeah, because that does, you have opened a can of worms there of like, how do you define what smell is what?
Well, no one's done it.
Exactly. What does a peach smell like versus what does a nectarine smell like? You
circled around this idea as well, that no one sat down and been like, this is peach 0. This is the smell of a peach. And everyone has to accept it. So it just requires a brave, industry-focused mind to come out and just be like, you know what, guys? This is leather. That smell, you can disagree if you want, but you're wrong.
What if we just used the Jelly Belly jelly bean flavorings for all of the smells that existed already?
Oh, shit. Yeah, you go down to the vault.
Yeah.
There's 255 lock safes behind you with one Jelly Belly in each. And you're like, take a sniff of each of these. And one of these will be the smell that you're trying to remember. And you can smell the wild garlic Jelly Belly. Be like, that's the smell. Let me tell you, that came from wild garlic. And through the power of misremembering, we hope that the thing you're trying to smell is one of these 255 lock boxes.
I really want a Jelly Belly that's flavored like rich mahogany.
We're not promising they taste good. We're just saying they're scientifically accurate.
Delicious. Yeah.
I feel this pitch has morphed a bit through its lifespan, but I feel this core idea, the core root is we have a team of smelliers who you can go to at 24 hours a day, and by smelling their smell samples, we will try and locate the object that created that smell. Two excellent ideas.
Incredible ideas, Andrew.
But looking back through time to last Monday, we also had two excellent ideas. Have you heard the news, Alex?
I've heard the news, Andrew. I may not agree with it, but I have heard it.
Well, it wasn't entirely glowing for either of us, really.
No, the review was not.
We have spoken to Julie, our listener from last week. Julie said in a problem about how could she be able to see all of her kids' amazing accomplishments when eventually her kids will move out and she won't be there to see them. And we pitched two great ideas. Yours was a pair of AR, VR glasses, effectively, where it would just hide parents from the scene so parents could secretly be there. And mine was...
Drones. So many drones.
A lot of drones.
Yeah.
So Julie, I think maybe rightfully, picked my idea. Ooh. But she had another comment that was they were both invasive and creepy.
Yeah, it wasn't entirely what she was looking for, but out of the two ideas, yours was the best of a bad bunch.
Well, user testing isn't always the best way forward. I bet like Steve Jobs didn't fucking get iPads out of a user group, right?
I've got to be honest though, Andrew. In that situation where best of the bad bunch is the measure, I think I actually won because I'd rather be the absolute worst than the second worst.
Well, we can now have two leaderboards. People who technically won and people who win by this new rubric. I'm excited to see what Elliott thinks of our ideas.
Yeah, me too.
If a listener had a problem in their life that they want us to pitch ideas about, how they make that process begin, I guess.
The way to start that process off, Andrew, is to email us at brainsontheoutside@gmail.com. You can either email us just a little message or send us a voice note if you're feeling particularly brave and bold.
That would be amazing. And it's another thing that we love on the show. And what is that?
We absolutely love it. Like, it makes our day when people tell other people about the show, or even better than that, when they rate us on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to your lovely podcasts.
It would be absolutely amazing.
Do you have a last idea, Andrew?
Do I have a last idea? I do, actually. How about a charcuterie board like cheese and meats, but in a tin? Yum.
Keep your brain on the outside, Andrew.
Keep your brain on the outside.